Morning viewers, day 83, just starting out from our camp area. So the town provide a camp area right next to the railway tracks. Had quite a few trains come through last night, but not too bad. Gonna go into Boiling Springs. Went in there already last night quickly after the thunderstorm and had pizza for tea. I've packed out a sub and 2 slices of pizza for food for the whole of today. I'm just going in this morning. A couple of the people I'm hiking with at the moment, or around, Stinger and Little Red, going in there for breakfast. So I'll probably just go in there and have some to drink. Aim minimum 22 today, but I'd like to get 26 and get into Duncannon. So I campground there, $5 with a shower, and that way tomorrow I can do laundry and go to the library and upload some of these videos hopefully. So tomorrow will be a bit of a smaller day. Campground's just there in the trees with the porta potties they provide as well, and you come straight out to cornfields. And then when the trees over there is the edge of town of Boiling Springs. So Boiling Springs has a town pool with water slides. Shame it's not hotter. I might have taken a 0 day, and I love water slides. And then there's this beautiful building. It looks like a set of apartments, but I think originally it might have been an old barn. Now I've already walked the AT, so I'm actually just gone off the AT for a second. So that I could have a look at that building. It's got this beautiful lake. There's a view on the other side of the lake. Some nice houses. The main part of town is right up the other end. This is a really nice setting. It looks peaceful. Great to go for a run or something here in the morning. It looks like a very old building that's overlooking the lake. In Cafe 101 for breakfast. And they've got a picture on the wall of 1906 Boiling Springs. It's quite fascinating to look at. Boiling Springs must be a corn capital, or a corn growing area of the United States, because I've been walking next to more cornfields this morning, as you can see just out there. Today, just trying to do the 26 into Duncannon. We just went past the ATC Centre and we noticed, luckily today's this Wednesday, the church in Duncannon does free spaghetti dinners from 5 till 7. Now, I'm going to struggle to get there, but if I do, that means for $5 I would get a shower, a place to sleep, which is a tent, on a camping ground which would be flat, and a meal. Whereas if I only go 22, I stay at a shelter and I don't get a shower and I don't get a meal, and probably a sleeping tent site if I don't stay in the shelter. If I stay in the shelter, I'll probably have people next to me. So Cindy's there to try and do 26. It's flat to start with, but I had a late start, just getting organised. Got a chance to FaceTime with Tash, which I was getting a bit concerned because of the lack of availability of Wi-Fi. Sorry I haven't uploaded videos for a while. It's just very hard to do so far since I've gone to the north side of the trail. So I'm working on that. Alright, cool today. Hopefully not another thunderstorm like yesterday. These thunderstorms, they come every day. And see how I go. Still travelling through some fields. mainly been going along the edge of the fields in the bush. We've just popped out, had to go through the middle of this one. Looks like they've just planted corn and we're going through there. Looks like tick chicks tonight. I don't know if that building over there's got enough windows on the side of it. What do you reckon? So, just come across this small cemetery on the side of the fields here. It's all got fencing around it and all that, but obviously a family plot. The freeway crossing. It's on the bridge. Just met up with another hiker. One step.
Next step.
Next step. He knew Butterknife, a lady from Australia that I'd hiked with previously on a couple of days. It's going to be a turn off here somewhere. Just crossing another major arterial. Major town there, but it looks like that might be Carlisle. Oh, American flag. So next step just got picked up by his wife. He's got some work to do today in Carlisle. But he contacted her and I asked for just some Skittles. She was going to the shop, and she came back and she got me trail mix. She got me some crunchies. Got Rice Krispies, about 4 of them, and me Skittles. So I've got now trail mix for about 4 days. I only needed 1 day to get to Duncannon. So thank you very much. Next step. He's going to continue on tomorrow. His wife's off with her back at the moment, but she hopes to finish it later this year. Now crossing an interstate. Out of Carlisle, went through some more fields, walking next to a river at the moment, and this beautiful boardwalk. It looks fairly new. Well, that section did. This is a bit older. And it's up out of the mud and that, which is good. Yeah. Next step, just before he left, showed me some photos on his camera. And a few days ago, I was in Harper's Ferry and I had to take some shortcuts over a canal to get to the hostel. Well, that 4-mile section is all underwater. And they've closed that part of the trail, and he showed me the photos, and the water's nearly up to the train tracks. It's like about a metre below the train tracks. So don't know what the hikers do there. Either they skip 4 miles or they've got to wait. But yeah, it's amazing how much that river come up, because that's where the Shenandoah and the Potomac meet, and it's easily up a couple of metres higher than it was. And I reckon that was that thunderstorm where I got flooded this 2 days out from Harper's Ferry. Or actually it was the night I come out, and the rain from that coming down the mountains has lifted that river. So this farm is run by the Appalachian Trail Work Centre. It's a Scott farm, and it's got a privy which I'm going to use. There's the house. Looks like an old barn. Looks like some workers' cars. And there's the privy. For anyone who might be doing the trail after me and is watching these videos, it's a little bit tricky here. You come across that bridge and you come to the ATC Scott house, Scott farm, and there's that sign on the tree. And what that's meaning is the trail actually does a complete U-turn and goes under the bridge, so just be wary of that. There is a blue trail on the other side of the road just near that turn signal. Don't take that, that's not it. You gotta go down under the bridge. This is Ang. That's how you pronounce it, isn't it? Ang? Yep. And he's just provided some trail magic, so someone with Coke, not beer, you beauty. And yeah, apples and bananas and some other chips and junk food, which always appreciated by hikers. And he just done a month himself on the trail and wanted to pass it forward. So thank you very much, Ang. I'll see you down the trail. Yep. We've got a little tunnel we go through under a bridge. I would say this might get wet when it really, really rains. Luckily it didn't rain overnight and whatever water was in here has dried up. And I think I've seen that in some YouTube videos where that's waist deep in water. So I've nearly finished the biggest climb for the day, which is about 900 feet, just under 300 metres. And there's this rock seat made. So the only thing I don't like is that in any of those gaps there could be a snake, but there's a reason for it. There's a nice view of the area out in front of it. I've come from down there, and I assume some time ago I probably walked along some of those mountains back there. That's a nice view of the valley of Boiling Springs and Carlisle. I'm going over a couple of ridges and then down into Duncannon. So I've had that trail magic. This is the shelter I was going to stop and have lunch at. It's nice, it's even got emergency details, what to do, books. It's got a couple of bunks, but you can also sleep on the floor obviously. It's nicely closed in. I believe the privy's called the Taj Mahal, that's over there, so I might go and have a look at that. But I also, the main reason I stopped in was to have a look at my foot. So I've been duct taping it, but this is because my socks got so wet in the last couple of days and I haven't had a chance to wash them yet. So there's a whole lot of sweat mixed with water, but they have dried out. But if you have a look, you can see what it's done to my foot. So I'm trying to, I've got a little bit of moleskin on where it's really bad, but the duct tape is just trying to keep the rubbing off it. It needs to be aired out, which I'm hoping to do tomorrow. So this is what they call the Taj Mahal of privies. It looks pretty fancy from the outside. It's got the name Taj Mahal at the top. Well, it's got a bucket. We close the door. It's got flags. And it's got dual seats. Now this part of the trail is a little bit overgrown. The ticks could probably touch me in the shoulders if there's ticks in there. Still beats the rocks and the mud. Just worried about the snakes, the ticks, and the itchy grass. The overgrown trail continues, but I gather that ridge line in front of me is the last climb. It's only 700 feet or 200 metres. And on the other side of that to go down to Duncannon. So I gather that will be where I'm heading, up and over that ridge and finally get out of this long grass. I'm just about at the top of the last climb and there's a viewpoint. I gather this is for, I don't know, power lines or something, but there's no lines here. A nice view of a lake in the distance there. And I assume, and that's why I'm going to be going, there's a view over that side as well, which is where I'm going to head. And this is the view out the other side. This is from Hawk Rock, looking down onto Duncannon. That's where I'm going to stay. I'll come in down there somewhere, and then you can walk around. The campsite will be up there somewhere. But laundry's in the middle. And the Doyle Hotel, which is supposed to be very famous for how old it is, but it's a beautiful view of the valley. Even though it's over cloudy, it's really clear today. So I'm down, it's 20 to 6. I'm down on the outskirts of Duncannon. I think I've got about 0.9 to the church. Well, there's two churches and I can't remember which one it is, so it's one of them. That last mile, well actually I'll start 6 miles out. For those that are going to possibly hike it, there was a clearing, looked like for power lines. Basically from when I walked out of that clearing back into the trees, which was 6 miles from town, the rock started. Not as bad as I've been, but enough you had to just watch the ground. I thought, oh, don't tell me about 6 miles of this. Just for anyone that's interested, goes for about and mozzies, about 3 miles, and to about the Cove Mountain Shelter, and then it stops. Oh, the mozzies. The next 2 miles it goes back to hiking track, which is good, and then you get to Hawk Rock, which has great views of Duncannon, and it's on trail, so you don't have to go off trail. Oh, hang on a minute, there's a motorbike coming. And from there, that last mile is a super steep rock staircase, real steep. Don't do it quickly in the wet. They're 2/3 of the way down. I was that busy watching down, I nearly missed. Just happened to glance up at the right time. I went, oh, there's a trail there, and then hey, there's a blaze on that tree. It does a steep uphill for about 0.1 or 0.2, and then it goes back to a steep downhill till you get into town. So the last 6 miles, very interesting. The 3 miles of rock, 2 miles of hiking, and 1 mile of straight down. Alright, I'm going to just crossing the bridge now. I'm going to try and find this church. View from the bridge of some other bridges and a hill in the background. Very nice. And this is downtown Duncannon. Doesn't really look like a place I'd want to visit too often. These sections were really crazy, but yeah, it looks like it's a bit run down.